Well, good morning. It is a joy to be here this morning. I appreciate the opportunity. I don't take it for granted anymore after a year of not getting to travel much at all, and it's always nice to sing, but it's especially nice to sing for folks that talk like I do. I love that. I love to travel, and I spend a lot of time up in the Northeast and out west and different places, and they're good folks, don't get me wrong, good folks, and, like my music, don't understand a word I say the whole time I'm there, you know. But I don't have that problem this morning. It is a pleasure. I am Daryl Mosley, and grew up over in a little town in Tennessee, and grew up in a little small country church, and just as a kid singing and dreaming of a music career. But in the many years since then, God has been so good, blessed me with so many things, so many ways. I've been able to travel and record, and I spent 10 years at the Grand Ole Opry, just a lot of really wonderful things. But in recent times, I've kind of come full circle, and I'm kind of back at just a lot of times me and a guitar, and just sharing some of the songs I've written over the years and the stories behind them, and that's what I'm going to do today. So some of these songs you may recognize, some were hits on the radio and that sort of thing. So if I run across one and you know the words and you want to sing along, that's fine. That won't bother me at all. I do have some new songs, some songs you're not going to know the words to, so please don't sing on those if you don't mind. I'm just kidding. You can sing on anything you want to. That won't bother me at all. I am a lover of story songs, and so you're going to get a healthy dose of story songs this morning. Daddy was a builder, a carpenter by trade. Our house was filled with furniture and things Daddy made. He hammered out a living, he measured out a life, taking care of his children and his wife. 6 days out of 7, he was up before the dawn, and soon you'd hear him working with his hammer and his saw. He was just a simple countryman, hard-working, kind and good, but he was at his best with his hands in wood. With his hands in wood, he gave it all he had, never turning back when the times got bad. He was a living example, and we understood that he was at his best with his hands in wood. I remember when we got the word a neighbor's house burned down. He didn't hesitate, he loaded up and went to town, and gave them all the furniture that he had built to sell. And then he offered up a prayer and wished them well. Well, I've seen him build a cradle where his grandchild would lay. He built the church an altar and would not accept their pay. And he built a strong foundation where our family has stood, 'cause he was at his best with his hands in wood. With his hands in wood, he gave it all he had, never turning back when the times got bad. He was a living example, and we understood that he was at his best with his hands in wood. And he told me all about the greatest carpenter of all, who laid down his hammer to answer a higher call. But they thought he was a rebel, he was so misunderstood, and they crucified him with his hands in wood. With his hands in wood, he gave it all he had, never turning back when the times got bad. He was the living example, and we understood that he was at his best, never giving any less. He was at his best with his hands in wood. Amen. Thank you so much.